Assalamu-Alikum and welcome back. So our today topic is aim, goal and objectives. So the aim of education refers to the general statement that provides shape and direction of the educational processes. So this statement outlines the purposes, goal and objective of education, guiding the development of curriculum, teaching methods and assessment strategies. Aim of education have several purposes. In this, the general statement that provides shape and directions uh, that helping to focus effort on what is most important. Next is guide decision making, like a starting point that suggests an ideal or inspirational vision of the good. So aim inform in decision about curriculum design, teaching methods, and resource allocation. Guide for the educational processes, like they establish priorities. So the aim help prioritize educational goal, ensuring that the most important objective receive adequate attention. The next is provide purposeful and direction of the provide purpose and direction to the whole education system. So it means they evaluate effectiveness, like aim serve as a benchmark for evaluating the effectiveness of educational program and institution. So aim are firstly clearly stated that they have the purpose and goal and objective of education, like guiding the development of curriculum, teaching methods and assessment strategies. Nature of aim in this value pattern, like philosophical position. The next is social organization, where pattern relation of individuals and groups. The next is social role. In this, the pattern of behavior associated with distinctive social position. And the next is lifestyle, like ways in which one live one's life. So their nature of aim in education refer to the characteristics, priorities, and features that define the distinguish educational aim. So in this we can say that specificity, which aim should be clear, concise, and specific, providing a focused direction for educational efforts. uh, it should be measurable, like aim should be measurable, allowing education to assess progress and evaluate the effectiveness of educational programs. Achievability in this, the aim should be realistic and achievable, taking into account the resources, capabilities, and limitation of student and educator. The next is relevance. Aim should be relevant to the need, interest, and goal of student, as well as to the broader social, economic, and cultural context. The next is a flexible. So aim should be flexible, allowing for adjustment and adaptation as circumstances change and new challenges arise. Interconnectedness. So aim can be interconnected with a different aim, influencing and informing one another. Dynamic, like aim can be dynamic, evolving over time as educational priorities and values change. It should be contextual, like aim are contextual, influenced by the social, cultural, economic, historical context in which education take place. There is goal of education. The what is the goal of education? Like the goal of education are numerous and it varied, but sometimes most of the common and widely accepted goals include that intellectual goal, personal goals, social goals, vocational goals, civic goals. So all of these have their own characteristics, like a statement of purpose with some outcome in mind, address certain characteristics as we already discussed. characteristic of the learner who attain the goal. The next is desired outcome for student as a result of experiencing the curriculum. The next is derived from various aims. Goal should be vary uh, from time to time. There is a level of education or level of goals. So, what is the level of the goals? Aim become goal when they become more specific and refer to a particular school or school system and to be a specific subject area of the curriculum. It focuses on the attention on the actual destination. So both goal and aim are not enough in providing a immediate direction for classroom instruction and evaluation. Like they have their own like mega goal, macro goal, micro goal, instructional goal, performance goal, process goal, product goals. So these level of education goal help the educator to create a hierarchical structure of for their goals, ensuring that they are aligned, focused, and achievable. Now, the next is formulating goal, like timelessness. In this, it is an essential consideration when formulating goal in education. Like timeless goals are those that remain relevant and important over time because regardless of changing in technology, society, or the economy, it work. So they have their own characteristics like enduring values, universal relevance, long-term focus, transferable skills. The example of the timeless goal include develop critical thinking and problem solving skills, foster creativity, imagination, and innovation, cultivate effective communication and collaboration skill, promote empathy, self-awareness, and self social responsibility. The next is they encourage lifelong learning, adaptability, and resilience. So, by formulating a timeless goals, educators can ensure that their goal develop essential skill and values that will remain relevant throughout their lives, regardless of the challenges and changes they may face. So, these are the characteristics, objectives of the education, like more specific statement of the outcome of the curriculum or the project being considered. So statement that enable curriculum decision maker to identify the particular intent of a particular action, so they clear their guidance power and capacity to develop the objective and common and consistent focus for activities evaluation and output. So philosophy toward aim and next goal and objectives. Types of educational objective, like program objective, course objective, classroom objective. The first one is program objective. So address the subject at particular grade level. The next is course objective, like relate to particular courses within grade levels. The next is classroom objective, divide into unit objectives and lesson plan objective. The next is behavioral objectives, like precise the statement of outcome in terms of observable behavior accepted of students after instruction. Now, non-behavioral objectives. Example include appreciate, know, understand. Now, the guideline for formulating educational objectives. The first one is matching, like ensure the objective matches the learning outcome and assessment method. Then the second is worth, that the objective is worthwhile, meaningful, and relevant to the learner. The third one is wording. Use clear, concise, and specific language when wording the objective. The next is appropriateness. Ensure that the objective is appropriate for the learner age, level, and abilities or grades. The next is logical grouping, like group objective logically such as by topic or skill or the learning outcome. The next is periodic revision. like regularly review and revise the objective to ensure they remain relevant, achievable, and aligned with changing curriculum requirements. Taxonomic level in this the cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So we will discuss all of these one by one. Cognitive domain. In this, we discuss the Bloom taxonomy, as we already discussed in the previous lectures as well. So, Bloom taxonomy is a widely used classification system for learning objectives developed by Bloom in 1956. So, it categorized learning objective into six levels, ranging from simple to complex in the cognitive domain. So, the first one is knowledge, like recall and remember previously learned information such as facts, definition, and concepts. The next is comprehension. In this, the to understand and interpret the meaning of information such as summarizing, paraphrasing, and explaining. The next is application, like use learn information to solve problem, making decision or complete tasks such as applying formulas, using tools or softwares, and making predictions. The next is analysis. Break down complex information into parts, examine relationship, and identify patterns, such as analyzing data, evaluating argument, or identifying biases. The next is synthesis, like combine information to create new ideas, product, or solution, such as designing, creating, and inventing. The last one is evaluation. Make judgment about the value, quality, or effectiveness of information, such as evaluating the argument, assessing credibility, or making recommendation. So the Bloom taxonomy is useful for the education or the trainers. Effective domain. So in this, the first one is receiving, like attending, the ability to receive or to attend to information, such as listening to a lecture or reading a text, so you can receive easily. The next is responding, like the ability to respond to information, such as answering question or participating in discussion. The next is valuing, like the ability to assign value or worth to information, such as recognizing the importance of concept or principle. The next is organization, like the ability to organize and integrate value into a system or philosophy, such as developing a personal code of ethics. The next is characterization, the ability to consistently demonstrate a value or set of value in behavior and decision making, such as exhibiting empathy and responsibility. Psychomotor domain. In this Harris taxonomy, the first one is reflex movement, like involuntary movements such as blinking or withdrawing a hand from a hard surface. The next is basic fundamental movement, like simple movements such as walking, running, jumping. The next is perceptual motor abilities, uh, movement that require coordination and perception, such as catching a ball or riding a bike. The next is physical ability, a movement that requires strength, endurance, or the flexibility, such as lifting weight or the performing gymnastics. The next is skill movement, like complex movement that require coordination, such as playing a musical instrument or typing on keyboards. The next is non-verbal communication, like a movement that convey meaning to express emotion, such as gestures, facial expressions, or body language. So these are the psychomotor domain explanation. Now, the development of objective, like the teacher-centered approach. So this teacher-centered or student-centered approach we already discussed in the previous uh, lectures. A content-centered approach, the behavioral-centered approach, and the behavior and content approach. Now, approaches to educational objective like behaviorist, managerial system, humanistic, and reconceptualist. Now, the first one is behavioral. So it should include the technical as well as the scientific concern for specified. We can identify essential learning and define the scope and sequences. Convergent emphasize on curricular learning. System or the managerial, like system and organizational theory, interrelatedness of the part of the organization, objective or part of the total processes of decision making and curriculum implementation. The next is management by objective, curriculum as a system of related components. So all these steps we already discussed. Humanistic in this include the focus on the person because it related to the human personal growth, joy for learning, respect to others. Curriculum seen as divergent opportunities for students to explore and become self-directed. The reconceptualist. Reconceptualists are the group of the curriculum theorists who emerged in the 1970 to 1980s. They primarily in the United States and they sought to challenge and reconceptualize traditional notion of curriculum teaching and learning. So the political and social posture with theoretical critique, like they critique of the traditional curriculum. So reconceptualists argue that traditional curriculum approaches were overly focused on transmission of knowledge, neglecting the social, cultural, and political context of education. So they empower individual to be more fully human, social sensitive, and extensional. Like they emphasize on critical thinking and inquiry. Reconceptualist educated for curriculum approaches that emphasize critical thinking, inquiry, and problem solving rather than memorization and recall. So they focus on student experience and perspective. Uh, they prioritize the understanding and experience, perspective, and voices of the student rather than imposing a predetermined curriculum on them. So, curriculum is emergent, concerned with those processes that allow for control of one's learning. So, reconceptualists recognize that curriculum and education are not neutral, but are shaped by power, dynamics, and social inequalities. So they sought to promote social justice and equity through curriculum reforms. Reconceptualism has had a significant impact on curriculum theory and educational practices, influencing contemporary approaches to teaching, learning, and curriculum design.